In this video, I'm going to be exposing the Google Doc that helped me to grow on YouTube while still being a university student. Now, what you can expect in this video is a complete mindset shift in order to use YouTube as a tool for business specifically. We'll get into more details on that. How to grow exponentially on YouTube and why you should be using YouTube. Now, quickly before we begin, I just want to say well done to you. You have chosen an educational video rather than some brain rot. So congratulations to you. You've chosen a video that's actually going to be educational and help you to achieve your life goals rather than just clicking some video with loads of hit markers and sound effects. You've chosen an educational video. So if you stick around until the end, well done, congratulations, you're already better than 99% of people. Let's get straight into it. Close this down. And here is the Google Docs that helped me grow on YouTube. Now, it's inspired by, and I say inspired by, it's basically taken from a guy called Charlie Morgan. So if I just get Charlie's YouTube channel up, now at the moment he has something like, what, 200 and, yeah, he has like 240,000 subscribers, which is nice. But when I found this video, it was a while back, and I think he had probably he mentions it in the Google Docs that he had like 1,000 subscribers or 7,000 subscribers. So you obviously know that it works because it's taken him from 7,000 subscribers to over 239,000, which is nice, right? So here are the YouTube commandments, as me and Charlie call it, and this has helped me grow my YouTube channel as well. So to introduce the document, welcome to the YouTube commandments. There is a collection of unwritten rules and ideas that, if followed and understood, they lead to explosive YouTube growth, which a lot of people don't tell you about. And this video and this Google Doc is going to reveal them to you. The first point that Charlie made on this Google Doc, which I agree with, is this is the best decision you can make. For your business, YouTube is 100% the best decision that you can make. As of Charlie recording this kind of video on this Google Doc, his business had generated 2,700 appointments from January 2022 to November 2022. So what's that, 11 months, 2,700 appointments. And of those 2,700 appointments, 909 came from YouTube. And all he did was spend an hour a week making videos. Now I saw this and I was like, surely that's impossible. That can't be the case. And you might be thinking the same thing. Your brain might be going, there's no way. YouTube's a full-time job. There's way too much effort that goes into it, blah, blah, blah. They're all just excuses and copes that your brain is going to start to come up with. That's fine. We'll destroy those throughout the video. So Charlie made 109 appointments from YouTube in 11 months. And by appointments, he just means basically sales calls for his business. So that you close that at like, I don't know, a 10% rate. That's like 90 people buying a $10,000 product. That's, I don't know, like 90 grand for 11 months, plus all the other appointments, you know. It's just a lot of money, seeing as though he didn't really have that many subscribers during this period either. The cool part is that 75% of those appointments came directly from his channel when he had less than 1,000 subscribers. You do not need a big channel to dominate. And I saw this and I thought to myself, wow, that's quite inspiring, right? That the fact that he only had 1,000 subscribers and he still made hundreds of appointments and made tens of thousands of dollars, right? You can see this is a screenshot from his Google Doc, from his Excel sheet that he made, saying that people who have come from YouTube and he has 909 appointments from YouTube. That's just basically a proof for him. And you don't need a big channel to dominate. And I saw this and I thought, wow, that's really inspiring, right? The fact that you don't need loads of subscribers, you just need quality subscribers is really, really motivating. And that should start to motivate you already. So he says that starting a YouTube that is the best for his business, one of the best decisions he's made, and he can't explain it enough. As far as me, I've written this, Dom, I've generated over 670,000 views in about 2 years, and I made a ton of mistakes on the way, right? I've made so many mistakes, like more mistakes than anyone should realistically do, and it's something I talk about in my community, which will be the top link in the description if you want it. Basically, I help university students make money online by selling what they learn online, I made so many mistakes, and I still, as a noob, managed to get 670,000 views since starting my channel only a couple of years ago, right? And that's just a screenshot of my channel there. So when you make good YouTube content for 1 to 2 years, this is what you can expect, and this is going to cover the point of why you should be making YouTube videos. Firstly, is you get a lot of love. People start to become fans and start telling you that they love you. Now, this is very important, okay? Because you need this kind of positive reinforcement, this positive feedback in order to carry on anything in life. You know, it's really, really difficult to keep doing things with no praise, with no feedback. Say, for example, you were trying to lose weight in the gym and you were going for months and months and months and you hadn't lost any weight. You want to be quite demotivated, right? But YouTube's nice. A lot of people give you love. A lot of people respect and value the value that you give them. So they're gonna show that through, you know, comments or DMs and stuff like that. Next, which is a very important point, is authority. People will start taking your words as more important and then more likely to be truthful. So YouTube gives this weird sense of authority. You know, you can see a business or you can see someone on the street saying, you know, for example, if a guy came up to you and said, I'm a scientist, here you need some protocols in order to fix your life. Do this, do this, do this. You'd be like, who the fuck is this random guy off the street telling me what to do and how to do it? Like, there's no proof. You're not going to listen to him or her, and it's just going to be a bit weird. Alternatively, if you look at someone like Andrew Huberman, for example, say we get his channel up, who is also a scientist, Andrew Huberman, and he says, and he comes up to you and says, "Oh, my name's Andrew Huberman. Check out my YouTube channel." You go to his YouTube channel, and he's got what 6 million subscribers, nearly 7 million subscribers. He gets hundreds of thousands of views per video. He has people coming on his channel to share their philosophies and their tips and tricks. You're gonna start to believe a guy like that, right? So that's what YouTube does. It gives you the authority, and people will start taking your words as more important. As for positioning, people start to see you and your business differently to your competitors. So that's just kind of like a unique selling point. It makes you a lot more unique. It makes you stand out a lot more when comparing you to a similar business model or a similar product, okay? Valuable, people see you, your knowledge and products as more valuable, similar to authority, which helps the value. People will just automatically see your product and your services as more valuable because you're giving out free value already. They're going to want some more, and the place to get that is your product or your service. Respect. People will build respect for you if you do it right. Now, this is an important point which we're going to get into a bit later in the doc. But if you build your YouTube channel correctly, which you'll know exactly how to by the end of the video, then people are going to respect you for it. Okay, people are going to have huge amounts of respect for the value and the information you share, and people are going to want to give back to you. And a good way to give back to you would be to buying your product or your service. Trust, people are more likely to trust you and give you their money. Again, it comes back to the Andrew Huberman situation. If a guy comes up to you on the street and says, yeah, I'm a scientist, do this and do this, you're not going to believe him, right? But if he says, check out my YouTube channel, and he has 7 million subscribers, you're going to believe him, right? You know, he must be knowing what he's talking about. No one builds something like that on accident, okay? Confidence, people have more confidence in your abilities to solve their problems when you start to share stories and testimonials for free on YouTube. People are already exposed to the idea that you can help them and solve their problem because you've solved other people's problems, similar problems that they have. So they're more confident that you would be able to solve their problems. Familiarity, people become more familiar with you and start liking you more. You've probably had this where you've watched someone create content for a while and you think, this guy's really similar to me. You know, I quite like this guy. If I was to meet him or her in real life, we'd probably be friends. We'd probably hit it off quite well. We'd have good conversations, right? And that's why you keep going back to different YouTubers and influencers. It's because you built up this familiarity. You feel comfortable and you feel like, you know them on a more personal level than just someone sitting behind a screen. And recognition, people start to recognize you. Can be a good thing, can be a bad thing, depending on who you are, what you do. But by using this tactic, people will love you, okay? YouTube also feeds into every other aspect of your business. It makes every acquisition system function better and more efficiently. So, acquisition systems are just like getting customers and clients. It's the most asymmetric thing out there. So, what he means by asymmetric is basically for how much you put in, you get way more out. Say, for example, you were working a normal 9 to 5 job, you work 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. Whereas with YouTube, you can put 1 hour of effort in per week and get paid, for like, I don't know, tens, 20s, hundreds of hours on the back end of it. It's completely asymmetric. It's something that Sam Ovens talks about. Let's see if we can find this video here. Really good video this is. Sam Ovens metric. Sorry, I'm being a bit autistic. Yeah, so it's this video here. Sam Ovens, long-term thinking modes and warfare, a recipe for domination, long-term thinking modes, and asymmetric warfare. Go watch that, and this one, sacrifice, yield, and asymmetric returns. Go watch all of Sam's videos. Actually, they're really good. But he'll explain to you what the asymmetric returns are. I've just said it on a basic level. He applies them to his actual business. The second point, the niche understands imperative. So you must build your channel around your niche, aka the people watching your video. The deeper your understanding of your niche, the better your ability to make videos they want to click and watch, and the better you can make content they find valuable. So I see a lot of guys making this mistake, and I made the mistake at the start as well, of not niching down, of not getting a target audience. Who do you want to target? Who do you want to try and sell and appeal to? It's very important that you distinguish that and find that out very early before making any sort of content at all. It's very important you find your niche and who and what you're going to be selling to. Now, the reason you do this is because if you know your niche inside out, for example, it could be a problem that you have solved in your life. Say maybe you were overweight, we'll use that example again, and you managed to lose, I don't know, 50 pounds in a couple of years. You know the problems of an overweight person. They don't get any attraction from women, they don't get respect from men, they get tired when walking up the stairs, they have low self-confidence, they binge eat, they resort to, coping and avoiding their problems using, stimuluses and drugs and alcohol, etc. So you probably know all those, problems. And therefore you can appeal to those people. It's the same thing that I do with my community and my course. I know the problems of university students, that they're broke. And I think the best way to get over that problem is to sell what they learn in university online. And I did the exact same thing. I put the systems in place, I put the work in, and I managed to make some money online as a university student. So I know all the problems of someone in university who has no money. Therefore, I can appeal to those people a lot easier than someone who has never been to university. Makes sense, right? And then you can make more valuable content because you're solving very, very unique problems. Third point, system, not brand. You need to see your YouTube channel as a system and not a personal brand or a brand. It's a system with inputs and outputs that feeds back onto itself. You are building a system, not a personal brand. You are a business owner with a product or a service and a market. You are not and should not want to be an influencer. If you start building YouTube through the lens of personal branding, you will really mess things up. I agree. The system performs the function of exchanging value for appointments and authority. The input is content, the output is market positioning and appointments. It's an exchange, not an opportunity to become famous. If you want to understand systems thinking, go watch Sam Ovens' video, Systems Thinking. So I added that note at the end there. Let's break this third point down. System, not brand. Let's break this third point down. System, not brand. A lot of people, they start a YouTube channel. Why? Because they want a personal brand. They want to be a brand. They want to be like Logan Paul or KSI or iShowSpeed or Casey Neistat. They want fame. They want influence. But this is not what we're doing here. Sure, that you can go down that route and get lots of views like Mr. Beast. But if you want to build a business and a life that's fulfilling and not just being a puppet to the YouTube game, then you have to start thinking and acting like a business owner and not someone who's trying to build a personal brand. The system with the inputs and the outputs, and they feed back into themselves, okay? So let's break this down quickly. Uh, he says here that systems perform the function of exchanging value for appointments and authority. So when you make videos, you're giving free value. Here, I'm giving you a free value. I'm giving you the whole document that helped me build my YouTube channel. That's very valuable for some of you boys and girls watching, right? So I'm giving you value. And in exchange for me exposing this Google Docs and the previous videos I make and the future videos that I'll make, my hope is that you will think to yourself, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's already given me lots of value. I respect and I like this person. Therefore, I'm going to buy his product or his service. Yeah, why not? I'm in debt to him. He's already given me value. I want some more value from this guy. Let me go and see what he's got. Let me check out his product and his service, right? I don't make these videos for fun. I do enjoy making these videos and I do find them fun. But the whole point of these videos is that they are an input. I put the inputs into my channel, these videos, the thumbnail, the title, and then the outputs are how many of you boys or you girls go and buy my product and service, right? And that's the input and the output system. And when he talks about this feedback into itself, that's kind of just like a feedback loop, right? So you know that the better the input, the more outputs that you have. And the more outputs you have, the more inputs you will have as well. Because the more people that buy your stuff, you're going to grow on YouTube, you're going to grow your product, you're going to have more testimonials, more kind of evidence that you know what you're talking about. And that's going to make more people want to watch your videos. So it works in like this progressive, positive feedback loop where the inputs create the outputs, but then the outputs create more inputs. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you understand that, then well done. If you understand that, you already know a lot of these things, and I'm sure that you're going to succeed very, very easily. So it's an exchange and not an opportunity to become famous. You know, we're not making these videos to become famous. I'm not making these videos to become famous. Charlie wasn't making these videos to become famous. It's an exchange. We make it because we want appointments, not because we want fame, not because we want friends. We want people to buy our products. That's the underlying truth of it. And I added this note: if you want to watch, if you want to understand systems thinking, go watch Sam Ovens video, System Thinking. So it's this one here. Systems Thinking, How Billionaires Think. It's a 40-minute video. Go watch that after this one. Point number 4, long-term thinking. Very important point. YouTube is a long-term game. Instant results exist, but for 0.1% of people that start. For 99.9% of people, which will be you, YouTube takes time to work, okay? Charlie looks at YouTube through the lens of building something for the next 10 years, not the next 1 year, let alone 1 month or 1 week or 1 day. The further into the future you look, the better decisions you will make for your channel. Do not expect any results from your channel for at least 1 to 2 years. You need to be consistent for 1 to 2 years to really achieve anything with YouTube. Charlie's channel is now starting to exponentially take off. Remember, this was a couple of years ago he was making this. It's not because of anything that he was doing right now. It's taken off because of work that he put in every day for the last 18 months. Do not mistake immediate exponential effects for recent cause. Don't underestimate the power of time and consistency. I love this point so much. So for you watching now, you're not going to get instant results. I can promise you that, okay? You might think that you will, you might think that you know more stuff. You won't get instant results. Look at YouTube through the lens of building something for 10 years, not the next 1 year or 1 month or 1 week or 1 day. Most people, what they do, they upload like one shitty YouTube video, or they upload 10 or 20 shitty YouTube videos, and they think, why am I not rich yet? Why is my channel not grown to 1 million subscribers? They don't realize that this is a long-term game. I always made this mistake as well. I thought, how are these overnight successes popping up? I always thought that Iman Gadzi, overnight success, right? I did some research. He's been making YouTube videos for like 8 or 9 years. Mr. Beast, oh, instant success, right? He's been making videos for like 12 years. Oh, I Show Speed, he's popped up out of nowhere. He was streaming in his room at like 12 years old. He's been doing it for like 6 years straight. Everyone that you think is an overnight success has years and years and years of backlog. Now, the best time to start this YouTube channel was like 10 years ago, but the second best time to do it is now. Okay? The further you look into the future, the better decisions you will make for your channel. So if you only look like 1 week, 1 month, what you'll start to do is you'll start using clickbait titles. You'll start talking about topics that you know are gonna get views, right? So you'll probably start making videos like no fap tips, 5 no fap tips, or do this and the woman will love you forever. And yeah, okay, if you're giving valuable information, you can make videos like that. But that's very short term. You'll have viewers who just want a bit of dopamine and then they'll just click off your video. They're not going to buy your products. You want quality viewers who are going to buy your products. For example, if you've watched this far into the video where we're over 15-20 minutes into a video where there's hardly any editing, I know that you're a valuable customer. I want you to buy my products because I know that you're someone that I want working with me and buying my things. And that's why I make these videos, to appeal to people like you who are watching this far into the video. 90% of people clicked off within the first 5 seconds when they saw that there wasn't much editing or boobs. Right? Boobs. Do not expect any results for your channel for at least 10 years. If you go into the mindset with, okay, I'm just going to make videos for 2 years and then I'll see what happens, you're going to be ahead of 90% of people. Your channel will only start to take off because of work that you put in 18 months. This is what you'll get. You'll have this exponential growth. You can see I had nothing for like years and years, and then it started to take off. I kind of stopped doing YouTube here, and that's why it dropped down again. But you can see kind of like the exponential growth starting to come in after like a year. Don't mistake immediate exponential effects for recent cause. So just because you get like lots of views on a certain video, don't think it's because of that one video alone. It's because of the backlog of videos that you've already made, and don't underestimate the power of time and consistency. If you couple time and consistency together, there's literally no way that you can fail. Point 5, serving your audience. To be successful, your channel must serve the market first and to serve you second. The more you give, the more you get. You cannot stress this cliche enough. Give 95% of the time and take 5% of the time. So what this means is that you're just going to be giving value away pretty much. You're going to be telling stories, personal stories, advice, information that you've learned, information that you've paid for. Like I paid for this Google Doc. I didn't mention that, but I paid a lot of money for this Google Doc and for the information on this Google Doc. Way more than I'll make for this video. But that's what I do. I pay for stuff. I invest in stuff. I've got about 10 books right here next to me, There's an example of one of them. And I share the information that I learn from books, and I learn from courses, and I learn from products that I pay hundreds, if not thousands of pounds for, and I give them away for free. And then 5% of the time I'll say, if you want a more in-detailed version of this, then go and check out my community, right? So that's how it works in practicality. You learn stuff, you tell your stories. 95% of the time you're just giving value and information that people will find useful. And then 5% of the time you can say, if you want to pay me back, just go buy my product, go buy my service. Point 6, the value fountain. To be successful, your channel has to become a fountain of value that never stops flowing. Content is valuable when it gives a solution. So either you help the market to solve a painful problem or a potential future problem. This is quite nice. Again, say for example that you've lost a lot of weight. That problem is painful for a lot of people, not just physically but mentally as well. So if you solve that problem, that's when the content is valuable. Informative, helps the market acquire useful or interesting knowledge. So that can be maybe you've read a book and you give like a summary of that book. Perspective, give the market a unique and new perspective on something. Alex Hormozi does this quite well, where he kind of shifts perspective of people. So whereas people think that one thing is bad, he goes around and says, well, no, it's actually a good thing because X, Y, Z. Understood, makes the market feel understood and that someone gets them. This is more like the motivational content where people will talk about like philosophy and their struggles and their problems, and then people are like, yeah, I agree with you, and you make the person watching the video feel like that they're understood and they're not the only one fighting this battle. Motivation makes the market feel pumped or excited to work or do something. For example, David Goggins. Resonance meets the market where it is at, resonating with it. So that's just, again, similar to understood. You just resonate with the market, you relate to it on a personal level. Or entertainment, entertain the market, curing boredom, etc. That's like the Mr. Beast type videos. But we don't really want to be going after these videos because you attract the wrong people. Number 7 is input goals. Yeah, input goals. Don't set subscriber or channel growth goals, set content volume goals. So this is just the input. So if you say to yourself, okay, I just want to upload 3 videos per week for a year, and then I'll see where I'm at. Rather than saying, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers in the next 2 weeks. Your goals should be aligned with the inputs of the system, not the outputs. You can control the inputs. It's a very important point. You can't control how many subscribers. Like, I can give you enough value, but I can't forcibly take your hand, put it on your mouse, or scroll down and click the subscribe button, right? I can't physically do that. All I can do is just give massive amount of volume and hope that you pay me back. If you set a goal against outputs, your emotional position and therefore your consistency are at the mercy of an algorithm you cannot control. Again, a very important point. If you think to yourself that you're going to get 5,000 subscribers in the first month and then you get 500, you're going to feel a bit down, right? Whereas if you set a goal for 500 subscribers and you manage to get 5,000, you're going to feel like you're the dog's bollocks and you're going to take your foot off the gas. You're not going to be as consistent. You're going to think you're something special, right? So relying on the algorithm for your emotions just shouldn't be done. All you can control is the input, so just focus on that. Focus on being consistent and making videos. Charlie's only goal is to bang 3 videos a week. He has released attachment to views, metrics, blah, 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 money, income, all that. All he does is just focus on 3 videos a week, and we saw at the start, it worked quite well for him. And he puts all his attachment onto making really good videos. So as someone who's going to make YouTube videos, you now need to shift your mindset to, okay, all I'm going to focus on is giving valuable information, making valuable content, making quality content. That's all you've got to do. So scripting, editing, recording, they're the 3 areas that you're going to look to improve over time and get better and better at. Set a goal for how many videos you're going to make or a frequency at which you're going to make them, then just hit that. The best way to stay emotionally stable with YouTube. So for me, on this channel, it's 3 videos a week. I can do that, quite comfortably. It does push me a little bit, which is quite nice. But at the same time, I just bang out 3 videos a week. See what happens. See where it gets you. Point 8. Success formula. So we're getting into the kind of nitty-gritty practical part of how to actually grow on YouTube now. We've gone through kind of like the mindset and the theory behind YouTube. Let's get into the practicality of YouTube. So to be successful on YouTube, the equation that you use is CTR, click-through rate, multiplied by watch time, plus value times volume to the power of time. So CTR is the click-through rate on the videos, which is basically just getting people to click. So when you upload a video with a thumbnail, the click-through rate is the percentage of people that see the thumbnail and then click to watch the video, right? Watch time, so when someone has clicked the video, how long will people stay on your videos for? That's just, how long will people watch videos for? Value, when your video gives someone something they need or want. So again, that relates to understanding your market and your niche. Volume, how often you produce valuable videos. That's just the cadence of your upload schedule. And to the power of time, how much time has elapsed while you have a good click-through rate, good watch time, producing value, and with volume. And this time metric is very important as well. So you can kind of just like take a screenshot of this if you want. That's like the growth formula for YouTube. Point 9, delivering clickbait. To fish, you need a bait. So this is the title of the thumbnail. And to fish, you need a strong line, and that's the content itself. Successful YouTubers create clickbait-style thumbnails that present a big promise, then they produce content that actually delivers on the promise. The best YouTube strategy is to promise in sale value, then deliver it. So if you want to look at people like Alex Hormozi, for example, if we're looking at business, he promises a big value, I'll help you make $1 million with this video. And then he shows how he has made someone else $1 million with the tips that he talks about in the video. So don't be afraid to clickbait. Again, you don't want the absolutely boring videos, because if no one clicks, then no one is going to buy. But at the same time, if you're going to have clickbait in your title and your thumbnail, then you best deliver on that promise. Otherwise, people are going to start to hate you. Point 10, consistency. Consistency is all that matters. Get it done every week, come hell or high water, never miss an upload. Inconsistency is punished, consistency is rewarded. Again, with my channel here, you can see I became inconsistent and it just dropped off a cliff. Whereas when I was consistent, it was growing exponentially. Remember, your character is on display. Your market is watching. If you stop uploading, the things that the market gives you start to wane. So we've gone through all these before, and these things start to crumble if you stop uploading, right? So that's why you've got to focus on the inputs a lot. It's easier to focus on not being inconsistent than it is on being consistent. So that's just kind of like a mindset shift there, where you focus on not being inconsistent rather than being consistent. If you want to think about it that way, it might help you. 11, margin of upload safety. Always have a few videos ahead of your schedule. Never leave it to the last minute and make a YouTube video, and that's like a secret to YouTube video. So he has a margin of upload safety of 2 weeks. He's always 2 weeks ahead, so if something happens and he can't make content, the system continues to run. This is a very important point, and it leans on the fact that there's a big punishment to missing an upload. It might not seem like a big deal, but you will pay for it heavily in a few years' time. So just what I recommend is just batching your videos together. So record like 3 in one sitting, schedule them for the week, and then you'll be okay then. You can make 3 more tomorrow and schedule it for the week after, right? This is a very nice feature where you can schedule videos on YouTube. Point 12, leave perfection at the door. YouTube is no place for perfection. Your content doesn't need to be perfect. The titles, thumbnails, editing, backgrounds, etc. The main point is that you get it done. You're a business owner, not a YouTuber, so you need to have time and energy to mess around making it perfect. If you look at Charlie's first videos, you'll find that they are way far from perfect. I'm not going to do that now, but you can go check it out yourself, and it's true. He just gets slowly a little bit better over time. But the problem is you just need to upload videos. No matter what it looks like, it doesn't have to be perfect. You'll get better over time. 13, time is your best friend. We've already covered this. We know how important consistency is, and YouTube is basically just a waiting game. Compounding. YouTube has exponential nature. Channels can suddenly blow up, and they do suddenly blow up. Linear slow growth is common. You can only achieve exponential growth by deserving it. So these are people like the overnight successes you see. They get exponential growth, where the first 3 years of their channel, they'll get 10,000 subscribers. And then in 3 months, they'll get 10,000 more. And in the next 3 months, they'll get 50,000. And then in the next 3 months, they'll get 100,000. That's exponential growth, right? And there's a very small percentage of people who deserve this exponential growth, but it is definitely possible. But at the same time, linear slow growth is common, and that will get you sales on your product, no problem. 15, the first hurdle. Things get easier at 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Once you have these things, you can monetize your videos. Once monetized, YouTube algorithm has a genuine financial incentive to push your videos. See, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 of watch time is like YouTube's way of qualifying you as a partner. If you can make that, they'll reward you with monetization. The money doesn't matter, it's the algorithmic exposure that does. So when you hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, YouTube basically allows you to put ads on your video. And if you put ads on your video, then YouTube can get paid by companies to show their ads on your video, essentially. So YouTube will use you to make money for themselves. Now, it might sound a bit weird that YouTube is using you to make money, but you can also use YouTube to make money. It's a symbiotic relationship, because the more views you get on that video, the more YouTube will get paid from the advertisers or the companies paying for the ads, the more you will get paid as well for the people viewing you and buying your products. 16, you are not a YouTuber. We've mentioned this throughout the doc, but you're a business owner, not a YouTuber. You will make money by focusing on your customers and delivering value, not whether or not you make a cut to a certain point in a video. It's easy to get swept up in the perceived demands of YouTube. To put into perspective, YouTube takes him about 2 weeks to manage. He produces 3 mid-long form videos a week and 10 shorts. Each mid-long form video is taken in one cut with no mistakes, taking 20 minutes on each average after uploading. Each short is taken in one cut with no mistakes, taking 2 minutes on average after uploading. So here is Charlie's kind of blueprint of what he did, and I basically copied him to grow my channel as well. So he produces content, he uploads the content to a Google Drive, and then he writes the title. What he doesn't do is make thumbnails, write descriptions, upload the videos, check channel, look at data, look at how much revenue it generates, or look at his subscriber count. Now, as a beginner, it's tough to kind of implement these things. If you don't have a lot of money, then you might not be able to pay someone to make your thumbnails and upload the videos for you. But there is some stuff that you don't need to do. Even if you're broke, you don't need to look at any data. You don't need to look how much revenue it generates. You don't need to look at your subscriber count. You don't necessarily need to check your channel. All you need to do is do these. You can write the description one time and apply it to all your videos. And you wouldn't even need to upload it to the drive if you didn't have a team. You could just edit it and upload it straight away. Okay? So you remember, you're a business owner, not a YouTuber. 17, the final point is YouTube is a weighing machine. And this is a quote from Benjamin Graham, which says, in the short term, the stock market is like a voting machine, tallying up which companies are popular and unpopular. In the long term, the stock market is like a weighing machine, assessing the value of the company. So time will weigh your channel. Don't worry about the short term. If someone's getting more votes than you, just keep plugging away, reassured that every time you upload and add a few more kilograms to your value weight. So if you can understand that, then you'll have a lot of motivation to actually go and start making YouTube videos, or continue making YouTube videos, making better YouTube videos, because you understand that in the long term, people will realize that your channel is valuable, and not just, you won't be someone who just, is there because of the trends, right? So I think we've covered that. Google Docs, like I said, is from Charlie Morgan. It's inspired by Charlie Morgan, and I use that to help grow my YouTube. Like I mentioned throughout the video, I do have a community, which will be in the top link in the description. If you are a university student, you want to make some money online, I'll teach you exactly how to do that by literally just selling what you learn online, how I grew my YouTube channel, how I made sales, all that good stuff.